With this quiz, I'll wrap up the book of Proverbs and enter the book of Ecclesiastes. Well, there are 10 multiple choice questions ahead of me from Carl Shoup's book, Test Your Bible Knowledge, and each one has 4 answer choices. I will finish the book of Proverbs with all of its wisdom and good advice and enter the realm of the preacher in the book of Ecclesiastes. Now, just like with every quiz, I'll do my best to pick the right answer for every question, and hopefully I'll get a perfect score. I was pretty comfortable with the book of Proverbs, with all of its practical and well-known advice, and the book of Ecclesiastes is also a book with a lot of practical knowledge. Now, every question comes with a reference verse or verses from the Bible that can be used for further study. Alright, I'm ready to move ahead and test my Bible knowledge. So I'll start with question number 661. Like, quote, a sweeping rain which leaveth no food, unquote, is A, poor man that oppresseth the poor, B, rich man that oppresseth the poor, C, poor man that oppresseth the rich, or D, rich man that oppresseth the rich. And I think for this question, the answer is choice A. Poor man that oppresseth the poor. 662, and it's a quote. I have to provide the final word. Quote, the rod and reproof give A, sorrow, B, trauma, C, wisdom, or D, caution. Alright, let's see. The rod and reproof give sorrow, trauma, wisdom, or caution. I think it's wisdom. Let me see here. The rod and reproof give... Right, I'm going to go with that. Letter C, wisdom, for my answer for 662. 663, and again it's a quote, and I have to provide the last word, looks like here. Quote, he that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child shall have him become his A, bodyguard, B, ruler, C, friend, or D, son. And I think the correct answer is letter D, son. Let's see, he that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child shall have him become his... Okay, right. I think it is letter D, son, for 663. 664. The 4 things that Agar, son of Jacob, found too wonderful for him did not include the way of A, an eagle in the air, B, a serpent in the pool, C, a ship in the midst of the sea, or D, a man with a maid. And I know this one for sure. It is letter B, a serpent in the pool, for 664, letter B. Alright, 665, and it's another quote. There be 4 things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. A, ants, conies, locusts, spiders. B, ants, gnats, lizards, locusts. C, conies, gnats, locusts, spiders. Or D, ants, conies, lizards, and spiders. And I know this one also. It is definitely letter A, ants, conies, locusts, and spiders, for question number 665. Alright, question number 666, and it's the last one from the book of Proverbs. It says, chapter 31 is devoted chiefly to the A, obedient child, B, industrious husband, C, good wife, or D, loving mother. I'm pretty sure that the correct answer here is letter C, good wife, although letter D, loving mother, could be the answer. It's definitely not A or B, so I'm going to stick with letter C, good wife. I know it was about a woman, and I'm leaning towards letter D because they read this in church on Mother's Day, but I'm going to just go with my first instinct here and stick with letter C, good wife, for 666. Okay, 667. First question from the book of Ecclesiastes starts out with a quote. Quote, all is vanity, says the preacher, that is, no one. A, is modest. B, obtains that which he aims at. C, profits by labor. Or D, takes pleasure in serious matters. And we're off to a really good question here. I'm not sure of the answer, so let me read this again and try to figure this out. All is vanity, says the preacher. That is, no one. A, is modest. I don't think it's that. B, obtains what he aims at. It could be that. C, profits by labor. I'm going to throw that one out. D, takes pleasure in serious matters. I don't think it's that one either. So I'm left with letter B, obtains what he aims at. So for 667, I'll pick letter B. 668, and it's another quote. Quote, there is no new thing under the sun, unquote, says the preacher, because all things, A, are of equal worth, B, that have been, will be, C, have been used by others, or D, in the sun's glare appear alike. That's a pretty clever one. It's not the answer, though. Letter D is going to be rejected. Letter C, have been used by others. It's not that either. Letter A, it's not that either, are of equal worth. So I'm left with answer choice B, and that's the one I'm going to stick with. That have been, will be, for 668, letter B. 669, and it's the first part of a quote, and I have to provide the last one. Quote, he that increaseth knowledge increaseth A, power, B, sorrow, C, arrogance, D, confusion. And I'd like it to be letter A, power, but I am pretty sure that it is letter B, sorrow. So for 669, my choice will be letter B, sorrow. 670, and it is the final question from the book of Ecclesiastes for this quiz. And it says, chapter 2 suggests that all in all, the best is A, consumption, B, saving, C, idleness, or D, labor. I think that it's letter A, consumption. I'd like it to be letter B, saving. It's definitely not C, idleness. I don't think it's letter D, so I'm going to stick with letter A, consumption, for 670. All right, that's the end of those 10 questions, and it's off to the back of the book where the answers are waiting for me. I'll go to number 661, and the answer for that one is letter A, and I picked letter A. In that one, the question was like, quote, a sweeping rain which leaveth no food, unquote, is A, and I picked letter A, poor man that oppresseth the poor, and that was the right answer. 662 is the next one. Beginning of a quote, I had to provide the final word. It was, quote, the rod and reproof give, and the correct answer is letter C, and that's the one that I selected, wisdom. So the quote is, the rod and reproof give wisdom. All right, 663 is the next one, and I had to provide the last word of this quote. Quote, he that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child shall have him become his, and I picked letter D, son, and that is the correct answer, letter D. All right, 664. The correct answer for that one was letter B, and that's the one that I wrote down was letter B. And this was the one, the four things that Agar, son of Jacob, found too wonderful for him, did not include the way of, and I picked letter B, a serpent in the pool, and that is the correct answer, letter B. All right, 665 is the next one, and it was another quote, this time about four things, and it said, there be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The answer that I chose was letter A, and it's the correct answer, ants, conies, locusts, and spiders. All right, the final question here from Proverbs 666. Chapter 31 is devoted chiefly to thee, and I picked letter C, the good wife, and the correct answer is letter C. Okay, good job. I thought it might be D, loving mother, but it is in fact letter C, good wife. 667 is the next one. First question from the book of Ecclesiastes. All is vanity, says the preacher, that is no one, and then I picked letter B, obtains what he aims at, and the correct answer is letter C, profits by labor. Okay, I did not know that one, so I missed that one. It's letter C, profits by labor. All is vanity, says the preacher, that is no one profits by labor. Next one is 668. I picked letter B for that one, and it starts out with a quote, quote, there is no new thing under the sun, unquote, says the preacher, because all things, I picked letter B, that have been, will be, and that is the correct answer, letter B. All right, 669 is the next one, and it was the first part of a quote, and I had to provide the final word. Quote, he that increaseth knowledge increaseth. I picked letter B, sorrow, and letter B is the correct answer for 669. Okay, 670 is the final one, and it said, chapter 2 suggests that all in all, the best is. I picked letter A, consumption, and I see here that I got it wrong. It is actually letter D, which is labor. Okay, so out of that 10, I was able to get 8 of them correct. Not too bad. That's an 80%. I seem to get 80% pretty consistently, which is not too bad at all, really. Alright, so with the next quiz, I'll stay in the book of Ecclesiastes and get more questions about the preacher. Like I said last time, it's a popular book, so hopefully I'll do well on the next quiz.